How much would someone have to pay you to eat a live spider on camera while your mom watches? There's a number. Don't lie to yourself. Reality TV producers study that number for a living. With PhD budgets and zero shame. They have spreadsheets, your dignity on one axis, dollar amounts on the other, perfected across 25 years and 54 countries. We're going country by country. Japan, the UK, Brazil, Russia, the US, breaking down what they paid, what people agreed to do, and exactly where I would never becomes okay. But hear me out. 9 shows, 5 continents, and one question underneath all of it. What are you actually worth to yourself? Japan. Isolation for $10,000. Susunu. Denpa Shonen. 1998. Lean forward. This is the one. Okay, so Japan had a comedian, young guy. His nickname was Nasubi, which translates to eggplant. So immediately, not the most dignified starting point. A TV production team approached him and said, "Hey, we have an opportunity for you." He said yes. They put him in a tiny apartment in Tokyo, took his clothes, all of them, took his food, his phone, any human contact, and said, "Here are some magazines. Enter the sweepstakes. Survive." That's it. That's the whole show. Want to eat? Win a sweepstakes. Win rice? Congrats, you're dining tonight. Win a television with no channels? That's just cruel. Win a bicycle? Cool. Useless, but cool. Win nothing? Sit in your tiny naked apartment and think about your choices. And Nasubi did this for 462 days, over a year, completely alone, completely unclothed, entering magazine sweepstakes. Now here's the part that breaks my brain every time. He didn't know it was on TV. He thought it was a private recording, like a personal challenge. 15 million people were watching him weekly. He had become one of the most famous faces in Japan. He had fan mail. He had merchandise. There were Nasubi dolls. The man had a doll, and he didn't know. He's sitting there naked eating Contest 1 noodles thinking he's in private. And there's a doll of him in a toy store. When producers finally revealed it to him, at the live finale, in front of a studio audience, Nasubi reportedly had a breakdown. Which, fair? I would also have a breakdown. I'd have several, back to back, like a breakdown subscription service. Estimated pay, around $10,000 total, for 462 days. That's $21 a day. That's less than a DoorDash order. He made less per day than a large pizza with extra toppings. Would I do it for $10,000? No, absolutely not. I need walls, clothing, and the right to know when I'm being filmed. Those are my 3 non-negotiables. I'm not even asking for much. Just walls, clothes, camera awareness. Basic human stuff. But here's the honest question. A year alone. No phone. No Twitter. No group chats. No one tells you about their weekend. Some of you just got real quiet. Because honestly, depending on your social calendar, that might sound like a vacation. Be honest with yourself right now. We'll come back to this. UK. Nudity. For $300. Naked Attraction, Channel 4, 2016 to present. Straighten up. This one deserves a moment of silence first. I need you to understand something about the British. They invented manners. They invented the stiff upper lip. They drink tea when things get difficult. They apologize to the furniture they bump into. And then they made a show where someone gets eliminated based on what their body looks like from the waist down, during prime time, on a major national network, for 12 consecutive seasons. 12. The show is called Naked Attraction, and the title is doing exactly what it says on the tin. One person stands fully clothed, 6 booths in front of them. Each booth, 1 naked human, fully lit, no shadows, no mystery. Just, here is a person, unfiltered, in fluorescent lighting. Round 1, revealed from waist to thigh. The clothed person eliminates someone, based entirely on what they see below the belt. Round 2, waist up. Another elimination. Round 3, faces revealed. Another elimination. Round 4, and I want you to appreciate this, round 4 is when they finally ask about personality. 4th, after everything else. Personality is the 4th consideration. Host Anna Richardson walks between the booths like she's conducting a perfectly normal job interview, asking things like, "How are you feeling about what you see?" with a clipboard, in her cardigan, completely unbothered. This woman has the energy of someone who has made peace with every single decision in her life, and I respect it enormously. Over 1.5 million people watch per episode. The show has been sold to multiple countries. The US made its own version. America looked at this show and said, "Yes, we want some of that." Estimated pay per contestant, around £150 to £250, roughly $180 to $300. $300 to stand naked under studio lights, while someone evaluates you starting from the bottom, while it airs to 1.5 million people, while it lives on YouTube, while your uncle eventually finds it. $300. That's a car payment. That's a decent phone case and a dinner out. That's not permanent internet nudity money. But here's the thing. Multiple contestants have come back on the show to be the picker. They return, voluntarily, as a fan of the experience, saying they felt liberated, saying they'd recommend it. And honestly, There's something philosophically pure about naked attraction. No catfishing, no curated angles, no photos from 5 years and 15 pounds ago, just this is the body. Make a decision. I still wouldn't do it for $300, but I understand the people who would. They're operating on a level of self-acceptance that I genuinely cannot access yet. Would you, for $300? Before you say no, remember this episode is forever, but so is the $300. Think it through. USA. Marriage for $25,000. Married at first sight. Lifetime. 2014 to present. America time. Big energy. America saw what other countries were doing. Isolation, nudity, emotional risk, and said, that's cute. We're going to take a sacred institution and turn it into a speed round. Married at first sight. Two strangers. They have never met. They have never texted. They have never accidentally liked each other's Instagram since 2019. They meet, for the first time, at the altar, surrounded by cameras, in wedding attire, and they get legally married. That's episode 1. Episode 1 ends with you being legally bound to someone whose last name you learned 40 minutes ago. Then they move in together, share finances, navigate physical intimacy, meet each other's families, have fights, have moments, have a full relationship, compressed into 8 televised weeks. Then, the Decision Day episode, where each person separately says, stay married or divorce. The show has run for 17 seasons, matched over 60 couples, and roughly 30% are still together, which sounds low until you remember the average involves marrying a stranger on a game show. 30% is actually doing better than some dating apps. Estimated pay, $20,000 to $25,000 per person. So you risk a legally binding marriage, a divorce on your record before 30, your family's permanent confusion. Your ex one day Googled you and found this: public failure, possible success, which is somehow scarier, for $25,000. Would I do it? No. I can barely commit to a Netflix show. Marriage requires a level of decisiveness I have not yet developed. But $25,000 though. You know what? That's rent for a year in some cities. If someone tripled it, I'm suddenly much more open to connecting on a deeper level with a stranger. I'm bringing my best suits. I'm workshopping my vows. I'm a completely different and more romantic man. Would you walk down that aisle? Cameras everywhere. Stranger waiting. $25,000 on the other side. Do you keep walking? Netherlands. Surveillance for weekly pay. Big Brother. Endemol, 1999 to present. The blueprint. Honor it. Before we go further, we have to acknowledge the show that made all of this possible. Big Brother. The one, the original, the template, created by Dutch producer John de Mol in 1999. And here's what you need to understand about John de Mol. This man had a simple idea. Put strangers in a house. Put cameras everywhere. I mean everywhere. Bedrooms, bathrooms, at least the doors. The kitchen at 3 a.m. The garden at 2 p.m. The confessional room where people say what they really think. Broadcast it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Let the public vote on who goes home. Last person standing wins. That's it. John de Mol changed television forever with that idea. Then he took that idea and sold it to 54 countries and is probably on a yacht right now, living well. The original Dutch contestants earned around $1,000 a week. US celebrity Big Brother has paid celebrities up to $500,000 for a season. Regular US contestants get roughly $750 to $1,500 a week. But here's what makes Big Brother genuinely fascinating beyond the money. Psychologists who studied early seasons found contestants went through predictable stages. Week 1. Everyone is performing. Best behavior, biggest smiles. Like a first day at a job where you dress slightly nicer than you will for the rest of your career. Week 2 to 3. The exhaustion sets in. The mask starts slipping. You start seeing who people actually are at 11 p.m. when they're hungry and tired and their alliance is crumbling. Week 4 and beyond. That's just their personality. No filter, no performance. Just, this is who I am when I've run out of the energy to pretend. The show doesn't create drama. It doesn't need to. It just waits. Would I do Big Brother? No, absolutely not. Sleep-deprived me is not television ready. I have opinions after 10 p.m. that I have never said out loud. Those opinions do not need to be broadcast nationally. One bad Tuesday night conversation, and I'm a gift that follows me for the rest of my life. But for a serious prize, I'm suddenly very strategic. Strategic, not quiet. There's a crucial difference. Quiet people get voted out early. Strategic people make it to week 7, then get voted out. But at least they made it to week 7. Germany, loyalty for vacation. Money, Temptation Island. Various 2001 to present. This one is mean, let people know. Now we stress test relationships. Specifically, yours, Temptation Island. Couples who are having doubts sign up. They get separated. Each partner goes to a different luxury villa. Their villa is full of attractive single people, whose actual job description, on paper, as employees of the production, is to flirt with you. This is not an accident. This is not background scenery. These people were cast, interviewed, and hired to be as appealing as possible to your partner. Then, once a week, the producers sit down with each half of the couple and show them clips. Not raw footage, edited clips, with dramatic music selected specifically for maximum misunderstanding. Your partner had a completely normal conversation with someone. Cut 2. Lingering eye contact. Slow zoom. Violin. Your partner laughed at a joke. Cut 2. The other person touching their arm. Dramatic silence. Normal human interaction edited into a scandal every week by professionals. The show has aired in the US, Germany, Netherlands, France, Italy, Greece. Multiple versions running simultaneously right now. Estimated pay $1,000 to $2,000 a week per participant in most versions. Now here's the genuinely uncomfortable research finding. Couples who go on this show, they usually already know something is wrong. The show doesn't break healthy relationships. It accelerates conclusions people were already heading toward. It's basically couples therapy. But instead of a therapist, you have an island full of attractive strangers. And instead of a private office, you have cameras. And instead of confidentiality, you have prime time. Would I go on this show? No. Hard no. I don't trust the editing. I could be having the most platonic conversation in human history, talking about cloud formations, discussing tax strategy, explaining the rules of cricket, and somehow come home to, so who is she? And I wouldn't even be able to explain myself properly because the editors already told the story. Editing is undefeated. Production always wins. But if someone added significantly more zeros, I'd start having very lengthy conversations with my partner about trust and communication. Very strategic conversations. With printouts. Midpoint. The uncomfortable math. Slow down. Let this breathe for a second. Okay, let's track the scoreboard. Isolation, $21 a day. Nakedness, $300. Marriage to a stranger, $25,000. 24/7 surveillance, weekly pay. Relationship stress testing, vacation money. Notice what happened as you went through each one? Some of you said no to all of them immediately. Some of you paused on one. Some of you are still thinking about marriage one. I see you. That pause is the whole business model. Reality TV producers have one job. Find where absolutely not becomes, well, that depends. They've been doing this since before streaming, since before smartphones. They have data on human dignity going back decades. They know your number better than you do, and the number's different for everyone. That's the beautiful, uncomfortable truth. Let's keep going, because it gets bigger from here. South Korea, Love Under Pressure. Singles Inferno, Netflix 2021 to present. Pop culture pivot, high energy. Okay, lighter. Briefly, Singles Inferno, Netflix, 2021, became one of the most watched non-English shows in Netflix history. Season 2 hit number 1 in 21 countries simultaneously. The premise is simple and quietly evil. Attractive singles, dropped on a remote island. No phones, no air conditioning, basic food. If you match romantically with someone, you both escape to a luxury resort overnight. Nice food, real beds, air conditioning. They call it paradise. If you don't match, you stay on the island, eating rice, sweating, watching other people leave for paradise. Now here's the psychology. The show is ostensibly about romance, but what it actually creates is a situation where comfort and attraction are completely tangled together. You think you like someone, but do you like them? Or do you like that they represent air conditioning and a real pillow? Are you falling for a person? Or are you falling for the idea of not sweating through another night on a cot? The show doesn't answer this. It just films you figuring it out. And the whole time you're trying to have genuine romantic feelings while also deeply, desperately wanting a working shower. Prize, mostly fame and exposure. Season 1, contestants gained over 1 million Instagram followers within weeks of airing, which, at influencer rates, is worth significantly more than most prize pools. Would I go? No. Genuinely, I cannot separate attraction from environmental conditions. If someone is nice to me when I'm dehydrated and sleep-deprived on an island, I'm proposing. That's not love. That's survival bonding. I know myself well enough to stay home. Russia. Survival for millions. Game 2. Winter. 2017. This is where things get serious again. Everything before this was uncomfortable. This one is a different category. Russian entrepreneur Yevgeny Piatkovsky announced a show called Game 2, Winter. 30 contestants dropped into the Siberian wilderness. 9 months. Temperatures dropping to minus 40 degrees Celsius. Minus 40. That's the temperature at which Celsius and Fahrenheit actually meet. That's how cold it is. The scale had to invent a special point just to describe this temperature. Minimal supplies. No rules. The promotional materials made that part very explicit. Very explicitly. Explicitly, no rules. Reported prize, around 1.6 million US dollars. The show launched. Had serious production complications. Multiple contestants left early. The full 9 months didn't complete as announced. But here's the number that matters. The announcement alone attracted thousands of applicants. Worldwide, Thousands. People who read Siberia, minus 49 months, no rules, and thought, yes, that's me, I'm in. Where do I sign? And I'm not even judging them, because $1.6 million. At a certain number, the risk-reward math actually changes. $10,000 to be isolated? The math doesn't work. $1.6 million to survive winter? Now I'm Googling thermal layers at midnight. Now I'm watching YouTube videos titled, How to Build a Fire When Everything is Wrong. Now I'm a slightly different and more prepared version of myself. Would I go for $1.6 million? Here's my honest answer. No, because minus 40 degrees will kill you. Not make you uncomfortable. Not give you a good story. Kill you. But I'd think about it longer than I'm comfortable admitting. And that discomfort is exactly what the producers are selling. Brazil. Beauty as sport. Miss Plastic, 2009. Quick one. Brazil, 2009. Miss Plastic. A competition show where contestants are judged on cosmetic surgery results, not talent, not personality, not life achievement. Surgical outcomes evaluated by a panel, symmetry, results, aesthetic improvements, like a car show. But for faces and bodies, prize, recognition, exposure, sponsorship potential. And here's the thing I genuinely cannot get past. Every contestant stepped into that competition completely confident, not nervous, not reluctant. Confidence. Walking in with the energy of someone who has done their research, invested in the product, and believes in what they're presenting. That confidence? That might be the most impressive thing in this entire video. I walk into a grocery store nervous sometimes. These people walked into a televised surgery competition ready. Respect? Genuinely. No notes. Would I go? No. I don't have the confidence infrastructure to support public scoring of my appearance. Full stop. USA. Strategy. As Survival Survivor. CBS. 2000 to present. The heavyweight. Make it count. Okay. Final boss. Survivor. This is the show that made everything else possible. May 31st, 2000. The first episode aired. The finale drew 51.7 million viewers. To put that in perspective, that's more people than watched the Academy Awards that year. More than watched the Super Bowl halftime show. 51.7 million people watched strangers vote each other off an island. 46 seasons, over 700 contestants, 46 winners, prize, $1 million. Here's why Survivor is different from everything else we've discussed. Every other show on this list is testing endurance. Can you handle isolation? Can you handle nudity? Can you handle a stranger as your spouse? The Survivor is testing something harder. Can you handle betrayal and deliver it? Because betrayal isn't a side effect of Survivor. It's the mechanism. You cannot win without lying to someone you've been sleeping next to for 30 days. You cannot win without voting out someone who trusted you. You cannot win without looking at someone across a campfire, knowing you're about to destroy their game, and smiling. That's not endurance. That's emotional and psychological warfare. The physical reality is well documented. Average contestants lose 15 to 20 pounds per season. Medical evacuations happen multiple times per season. Season 44 had 3. Sleep deprivation is real and severe. Caloric restriction creates decision-making that contestants describe as fog. Host Jeff Probst has said in interviews that producers specifically screen for psychological resilience because early seasons had higher than expected breakdown rates. Early seasons, the first few years, before they knew what they were making. And people still sign up. Every season, hundreds apply for 18 spots. Would I go on Survivor? Maybe. Genuinely maybe. Which is the closest I've gotten on this list. But only if I knew I could separate relationships from games. And I genuinely don't know if I can. Betraying someone who trusts me on camera for national broadcast? The million sounds great, but every winner has to do press afterward. Every winner has to sit across from people they voted out on reunion shows. Every winner has to live with their game. Winning is great, but reputation is longer. UK, the career launcher. Love Island, ITV2, 2015 to present, end of the modern business model. One more. And this one reframes everything. Love Island, attractive singles, a villa, coupling up, public votes, prize £50,000, split between the winning couple, so £25,000 each, roughly $31,000. That's it on paper, that's the prize. But here's the actual business model. Molly May Hague, season 5 runner-up, second place, didn't even win. Within 2 years, creative director of Pretty Little Thing. Net worth estimated at over £6 million. Olivia Atwood, season 3, didn't win. Has hosted multiple documentary series since. Built a media career from scratch using the platform. Multiple contestants have leveraged Love Island appearances into brand deals, clothing lines, podcast hosting gigs, TV presenting roles, and social media careers worth millions per year. Studies estimate the average top-performing Love Island contestant earns between £1 to £3 million in the 2 years after the show, from a £25,000 prize. The prize is not the prize. The platform is the prize. The producers know this, the contestants know this, and they're all playing the same game with different goals. Producers want content, contestants want leverage, viewers want drama. Everyone gets what they came for. Would I go? No. Public rejection in HD is not a growth experience I'm looking for, and I'm not built for villa life. But the business calculation? I understand it completely, and I no longer think the people who sign up are naive. They're entrepreneurs with very specific business plans and absolutely no shame, which in this economy, respect. The real experiment. What this was always about. Pull it all together. So let's look at what we actually covered. Nasubi. Naked in a Japanese apartment for 462 days. $10,000. Naked attraction. Studio lights and panel commentary. $300. Married at first sight. Legally bound to a stranger. $25,000. Big Brother. 24/7 surveillance. Weekly pay. Temptation Island. Edited footage of your partner's interactions. Vacation money. Singles Inferno. Romance via dehydration. Fame. Game 2. Winter. Siberia with no rules. $1.6 million. Survivor. Strategic betrayal. $1 million. Love Island. 6 weeks. Lifetime platform. £25,000 plus millions in career upside. The thing they all have in common? Every single one of them is answering the same question. What is this person willing to give up? And for how much? Privacy, dignity, comfort, loyalty, physical safety, sanity. Every show picks something different. Every show puts a price on it. And every show finds people who say yes. Not because those people are broken, not because they're desperate, because everyone has a price for something. And most of us go through life never finding out what it is, because the contract never arrives, because no one ever makes the offer real. Reality TV makes it real. And the second it's real, some people walk away, and some people pick up the pen. So here's the question I'm actually leaving you with. Not, would you do any of these shows? But, at what number would you stop laughing and start listening? Because you have that number. You just haven't named it yet. And reality TV producers? They've been naming it for other people for 25 years. With cameras rolling. Comment below, yes, no, or the number. I want to see what you're actually worth to yourselves. Subscribe before you find me on Survivor lying to someone's face for $1 million. I'm telling you right now, I'm bringing a fake personality and a real strategy, and apparently I have a price. I just haven't found the show with enough zeros yet. I'm broke, nigga.